4 years ago today, I was taking my last subway ride home from work. We were not yet told to stay home, but I had notified my boss that I was going to take a few weeks off due to my increasing concerns regarding the news of a deadly virus starting to hit New York City. This was about 5 days before, This was about 5 days before New York officially shut down non-essential businesses, but it was already too late. I can still vividly remember every second of that subway ride. There was a sunset as we were going over the East River at the exact moment the first symptoms kicked in. The pain was so extreme, all I wanted to do was fall to the floor and scream. It had felt like a giant fist was reaching into my heart, wringing it out, slowly opening and closing it back down over and over. At the exact same time, I was struck by excruciating burning in my knees. The intensity was blinding. At that moment, I knew, and my life was forever changed. I was only 31 when this all started. I ate healthy, and I had been a runner since I was 11 years old. You would not expect this to happen to someone like me. I used to consider myself a high achiever, but after COVID, all I can say is I have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and never-ending tachycardia. What kills me the most is that I didn't get a choice. I wasn't given the opportunity to protect myself. That was taken away from me when the government chose to lie and try to hide a pandemic. They knew and they lied. And those lies cost me my health and what I consider my life. The lies were only just beginning. We have been witnessing an ongoing massive failure of the government to properly handle this pandemic. When I say that, I am referring to both administrations. I want to run down a quick fact check for anybody that is unsure. The pandemic is not over. SARS-CoV-2 is still here. It's airborne. It spreads through the air like smoke. If you have lungs and are currently breathing, you are at risk for contracting it. Respirators such as N95 masks and clean air measures help to reduce spread. COVID is not mild. It will never be mild. It's a SARS virus. It is not just a respiratory illness, it's a vascular disease that affects every organ and every system in your body. Wherever blood flows, SARS goes. Catching SARS-CoV-2 does not strengthen your immune system. It does the exact opposite. It damages it. SARS has more in common with HIV than a cold or a flu. SARS harms and kills children. No one is safe. Not even your pets. Mild or asymptomatic infections can still cause severe long COVID. Vaccines did not end the pandemic. They aren't even preventing transmission or long COVID. We can't keep up with the rate of mutation. Herd immunity is not attainable with this virus. Herd immunity is not going to happen. Stop trying to make it happen. Despite the immense length of precautions I've upheld this entire time, my current tally stands at 3 infections. I've experienced the full brunt of the original strain, the Delta variant, and an Omicron variant. In all honesty, for me, the Omicron was the worst. It came on harder and faster than anything before it, and it had left me with what I consider the most severe and devastating consequences after. Each infection has been unique and insidious in its own way. Each one has permanently destroyed and stolen a different part of me. After 3, I don't have much left. The damage is cumulative, it is progressive, it is degenerative. Every time you get another reinfection, your risk of a life-threatening consequence, such as a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, multiplies. This is not sustainable. The current trajectory we are on will ensure that the vast majority of the population will face serious long-term damage and early death. No one will ever be able to move forward while we are under the constant threat of reinfection and unchecked forward transmission. We need to deal with the virus. This is a novel pathogen. It must be treated as such. It is crucial that we fund pathogen-specific biomedical research immediately. I'm tired of watching every part of my body continue to break down and not be able to do anything about it because the government abandoned us. I'm tired of watching those I care about suffer and deteriorate. I've connected with many other long haulers across the globe, and they have become my friends and my family. Spoiler alert, we are not all right. People are not only not getting better, they're getting worse. Here are some of the things I've seen some other long haulers go through. Strokes, pulmonary embolisms, blood clots, brain lesions, autonomic dysfunction, losing eyesight, losing hearing, teeth falling out, hair falling out, developing new onset allergies and food intolerances, developing diabetes, autoimmune diseases, rapid onset of cancer, dementia in young people, pulmonary fibrosis, organ failure, losing the ability to walk and having to spend months relearning how, complete loss of reproductive and sexual function. Do you have any idea how many other people with long COVID I know that currently have the T-cell numbers of an AIDS patient? A lot. They don't have HIV. This was caused by SARS-CoV-2. We've had knowledge that SARS-2 can cause this kind of damage to T-cells in the immune system since at least early 2020. We've known that, and yet we've been allowing children to become serial infected with it. They are chasing variants like they're Pokemon. Why did we allow the school curriculum to become the accelerated track to lymphocytopenia? It's not okay. Children are not able to defend themselves. It's our duty to protect them. They don't have a choice either. To the government, are you completely and utterly incompetent, negligent, or intentionally allowing the mass death of your people? There's a word for that, democide. Because what you are not doing is making decisions based off science and data. You are curating lies and manipulating the illusion that the pandemic is over when it's not. On September 18th, 2023, a woman named Shafika Hudson posted this on her social media. I'm going to say again that when long COVID effects kill me, sooner than later, I need you all to recognize and say loudly what it was. Long COVID is keeping my blood pressure at 230/128 in spite of an elaborate cocktail of meds. Long COVID is shredding my kidneys. I'm not going to be alone, and this won't be considered a massive crime against humanity until we're all gone. Just tell them I fought and tried. Shafika died February 15th of this year. I want to honor her request by saying it here today. Long COVID killed Shafika. She was not the first, and she won't be the last. The government might have left us all here to die, but our numbers will only continue to grow, and we are not going down silently. It's time to stop the lies, the misinformation, and propaganda. It's time to acknowledge the severity of SARS-CoV-2 and do what we should have done all along. Listen to the science. People are losing their health, their jobs, their homes, their families, and their lives. There is no reason so many people should have to resort to crowdfunding to get medical care or to eat a meal. The government's abandoned everybody, and there are no support systems. It's time to start taking care of the people. Declare long COVID a national emergency.